Hey, welcome back, U of T fans. Here we are with the Overwatch Intramurals Grand Finals tonight. I'm joined by Orbital for some Overwatch action. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, doing all right. Excited to be here, excited to be underway, and hopefully have a really, really good time.
Oh yeah, as always, these teams are explosive. They've fought vigorously to get to this point, and I've had the pleasure of watching Electrogiant once before. I'm not familiar with Mental Institution, but we're going to see what they bring to the table tonight, and lots of interesting character picks, and we even have the bands already set to go for the first map and everything, and yeah, so what are we dealing with here?
Yeah, we're dealing with some pretty understandable bans here. I mean, you can of course see Mental Institution coming in with some pretty hot players. We got Shuga, I believe Shi as well, and then you got the likes of DJ Ashtray, and then a few others as well. You got War Thunder. My brain is not working right now. I wish my brain worked. We got the likes of War Hater Sam, that was it, and then Vantadio and Hani. So all these players kind of stepping out here and hopefully having a pretty good time here across the map.
Oh yeah, and on the other side of the bar here, we've got Electrogiant and friends. Electrogiant himself, Zeus, Emil, Justin / Caboose, goes by both, and Monkey HW. Also to note, Monkey HW there, the entire team is actually sporting Winston profile pics for this one, so they're all locked in on that.
And the main thing for me is, of course, taking a look at the map. We're going to Lijiang Tower. I mean, this is the bread and butter, one of the standards.
Oh yeah.
Here with the opening start. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary. If we're to talk about the map, I mean, this is the litmus test for both these players. So hopefully they do pretty well, and hopefully we get to see a pretty nice ride.
Oh yeah. Yeah, as you said, this map's been around for 8 years, and get to feel each other out, see what's going on. As for bans, we do also have those available already. So I believe that on the side of Electrogiant, they chose to ban Hammond and Genji, and for Mental Institution, they chose to ban Junker Queen and Tracer. Junker Queen being one of the best tanks that Electrogiant has taken in the past. So it's pretty cool to see them taking that one out early on, because they won't be able to do so later.
Yeah, this is quite important as well when we get to talk about a little bit of a touch and go moment there. I'm trying to double check and see which one was banned out on the other side as well. There are a lot of options available. I know you said Junker Queen, but I believe Wrecking Ball was one of them. You'll have to remind me on this one.
Oh yeah, no problem.
No. Yeah, it was Wrecking Ball and Genji on the other side. Man, my brain was like, man, I know this one.
Oh
right?
hey, yeah. Yeah, he's got a couple different names, I guess. They call him Hamster too sometimes even.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Tracer as well. That's another one that I think Electrogiant has it in their repertoire, but the last time I was casting them, I had the pleasure of seeing a Tracer get picked. But I guess they're planning for it this time around, bringing it to the finals and such.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate this. Again, diverse abilities across there, and just saying, hey, we're gonna try and get that victory in there. But of course, both taking away one DPS out there, I think is gonna be very, very important. So starting off, making sure that you don't have that all-in ability with the Genji. But on the flip side, I know Mental Institution saying, yeah, you don't get the Tracer, you don't get the ability to collapse in on our backline, but you also lose out on one of the tanks. Both sides sporting that ability of getting that, I want to say, versatile tank come out here. I mean, Wrecking Ball to me is one of my favorite tanks out there. Just very annoying, doubles as a DPS in some factors. So hopefully we get to see a really nice time.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see what they pick in place of it, right? So initially here, these are not locked in, of course, but we've got, in terms of the tanks, good old Arisa and Ramatra going in here into the match, along with, of course, their supports and their different DPS that they've selected. Oh, Zeus is on the the good old Torbjorn, one of his staples for sure, and Emil's got that railgun ready as the Sojourn Canada represent. Caboose is just picking up their support, but looks like it's gonna be Moira and Lucio. And on the other side of the map, we're gonna have Hani on Junkrat, DJ Ashtray over on Symmetra, and Juno for Urson Jones, as well as Warhater Sam on Baptiste. So a lot of variety here. No duplicates at all, but they're getting into it. So a bit of our early game poking here, as you know, getting to that initial part of the point before it even unlocks, of course, making sure they get some damage out. No one getting too low right now, but they are pushing back the side of Mental Institution right now as we go in, finding a kill onto Caboose, going down. It's gonna be one player down for their team. Lots of shots coming out here from the perspective of Arisa. Oh my god, tons of damage coming through, and no one else going down, but it does push them back, and we're gonna see the control initially go over to blue side here.
Yeah, very, very strong start for Mental Institution. They go ahead and just kind of push forward and unleash on tower, especially within this control tower. It's just so easy to go ahead and get a window of opportunity. You push the opponents out, and now you get a launch. Hani can actually sit back and just for free almost launch out some of those bombs and keep everyone at arm's length. It's going to be a very, very healthy start, but now we'll push back in. Let's see if Electrogiants can do so.
Yeah, it's gonna be up to them to find the way back to this point here, up the staircase to the middle, up to them. Risha's shield is out, but here comes a charge from a good old Assume Shigi here, finding some damage. Ramatra up in the front once again, lots of damage coming through. And there goes Ramatra and Monku HW down for their side. Hani getting taken out. Some DPS gonna be a bit of a loss there. They're not finding another capture opportunity just yet though, as there is a bunch of trading going on. See Electrogiant swap over to Arisa. Gotta pick this new tank up, see if they can make some difference with that one. But yeah, they're back to kind of on the edges here as control stays for Mental Institution.
I mean, it's just that good. Right now, Mental Institution look like a much stronger team. They look very much in control of this battle, but of course, they just lose DJ very, very quickly, and that's going to be a 2v.
Oh my god, explosive ultimates coming out here. As you said, DJ going down. Zuth on the other side here. Caboose getting dangerously low. Just hanging on to life for him there. More damage coming through. Caboose going down. Electrogiant going down. Urson on the side of Mental Institution, unfortunately. But they're not going to lose any control. They're going to stop that kind of push that they just had there as well.
And we mentioned it's so difficult. It is so difficult to get control back of this point. Whoever gets on top, and Arisa is so good at body blocking that doorway. That's probably the most frustrating part. And you got Torb. Torb isn't exactly the greatest to kind of push through along with the Sojourn. It just makes a very blustered movement. And now you have the ultimate ready to go. It's going to work.
Oh, there it is. Finding a huge tire, driving right into the center of Electrogiant and finding 4 out of 5 players, chasing down the last player in Caboose. A full team kill, and they got a locked in spawn. It's 100% on the tick, and that is a round for Mental Institution.
And that was such a nice combination with the Arisa as well. You knew you dragged them all in. They were vulnerable. They were going to take a lot of damage, and the tire was just the exclamation point at the end of the day. So Mental Institution looking very, very strong. And I will always say, when it comes to control, I always feel it has a very different vibe. There are very few times that I've seen when it comes to even teams, one team dominate on control and then do well on either hybrid or escort. It just feels like different understandings of what needs to be done, bring out different pieces inside of a team. So honestly, with the control out of Mental Institution, if they do it here in round number 2 as well, I will be very, very impressed.
Yeah, it's tough to get between these ones, of course, as you said, and more dynamic on this one. The last map, it's a lot harder to kind of select where you're going and how you're going to enter. There's only a couple options, but this one is a lot more freeform. You can go vertical, even lots of different ways you can go. But we're seeing some early game before the points even unlocked control here. Emil and everybody else on Electrogiant making sure they can get down there and get some control initially. Some points coming out here from DJ Ashtray, building those ultimates as always, making sure that you're going to have those crucial moments coming up. But the poke keeps going, and here comes Assume Shigi trying to make a play for the point itself as it just unlocks contested, a couple to a couple. Full control right now for red team. There they are, gonna find the in the last second the contest, but nope, they got it. Not bad.
Very, very nice cap, number 1, but now they have to defend it, and yes, if it's gonna get set up, that'll be huge, but right now you're just finding those little extra shots on the back end, and it feels like now we are seeing that out of Electrogiants and friends, and they washed through the last 2, so it's a hard reset coming out for the likes of Mental Institution, and they just got caught up, it feels like, in a lot of those bluster fights and a lot of those skirmishes on the side. They weren't able to really lay down any significant damage, so really, really well done by Electrogiant, and now they get to defend, and they're defending a little bit further outside of this point.
Yeah, definitely good play. As you see, they're having a tough time finding a way back to it. Arisa versus Arisa action. We do have the mirror in the Sojourn right now as well. Damage coming up, but the blocks are going really well. Caboose getting really low there. Jumping back out. Slippery Moira. Hani goes down though. DJ Astro maybe soon to follow. Soon Shigi's getting pretty low once again. Electrogiant is making it work. They're holding on to this point very effectively outside of the range of it, of course. Some ultimates are available as well. They won't even need it. Just working on fundamentals to take these guys down.
Oh man, and you can almost see the hard swaps going out here. Hani and DJ Astria are like, okay, obviously we tried to play by their rules and it didn't really work. So you go ahead and fall back. You're bringing out a Bastion just to get a little bit silly with it, and I can actually sit here and agree with this one. But you gotta find Zeus's turn, or else the ultimates are really gonna wreck you.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when these ultimates are just all stacked on the side of Electrogiant and now there's nothing for them. But here comes a bit of a big blast. A team kill. 10-player kill streak on the side of Emil here. Great gameplay by them and great use of the ultimate from the side of Electrogiant. Oh my gosh, are they even gonna get a chance to touch once again? They got one more shot, right, Orbital?
Yeah, they got one more, but honestly, DJ is the only one that you're kind of sitting there going, you got a shot, you got a chance. And you don't really have a really huge way to actually kind of group up. You're just gonna have to rush, and rushing is not your main point.
Yeah, it's tough when the team here is fully stacked right now and they're finding a lot of shots into them.
Yeah, this is
did we
looking
just
a little
lose?
bit rough right now. It looks a little bit rough, but unfortunately we had a little bit of a loss connection there. So hopefully we get in, and it looks like we're gonna try and jump back in as quick as and it looks like we might have had a hold, but I think it's over. Nah, it is gonna be the end. This is something that we kind of expected. Either way, Electro Giants and friends really did look very strong in that containing. So unfortunately it is going to go to a map 3, round 3 here if Mental Institution want to take this game.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that both of these were very one-sided rounds, which is nice. So yeah, you're worried for Electrogiant in round 1, but then they come back so strong. And now the final one here. This is going to be that room, that little kind of island, right? Yeah, like the island part of the tower. Lots of opportunities for some interesting play. Hani jumping onto the Reaper, which has a lot of cool spots that he can go around and flank from. Lots more options in the last one, even for approaching, of course. They're making their way over the little footbridges here. And once again, we're going to see Sumshigi and all the Mental Institution be first on the point here. Make sure that they have some early control before it unlocks. Bit of damage coming out here. And who's the one to watch right now?
I mean, I'm just looking for everyone to charge up. I'm actually amazed DJ Astro actually stayed on this message, just saying, hey, that's what we really want to try and hang on to. And I'm not sure if this is the right choice because you actually lose out on damage output. So right now, it's just that rush forward. But Zeus is the one that you got to find, and you did find them. So big chance, opportunity for Mental Institution.
Oh man, as you said, Zeus goes down, and that's 1 DPS now, but they're holding it together relatively well until I speak too soon. Electrogiant and Emil following him to an early grave, and Monkey and Caboose on the run, also getting taken down. And that's a slight team kill, delayed team kill for the side of Mental Institution. Now they're gonna hit that control on the point, and they have the opportunity to do so much defense on the bridge here.
Yeah, that's actually really, really big. So for right now, we're looking at Mental Institution. You have to look at that roundabout way. Right now, they're pushing out a little bit further away from the point itself, but you have to know that the opponents are actually rounding their way around to the back end, maybe not taking the bridge, but instead taking the back end bridge, as you say, and maybe it is going to be that attempt to one-way brute force.
Yeah, they got to make their way through best they can. Well, they have fully detected their strategy here as they make their way through the back door, finding a lot of damage into them. Lots of pokes coming through right now. But no big move until we do see Arisa charging in with the baton there. Damage coming through, taking out some turrets to reduce some DPS, but the ultimate for Symmetra is going to split the map for them, making it so difficult. Zeus, Warhater Sam, deaths on both teams here. Earth and Jones, it looks like it's going towards the side of Electrogiant as they annihilate good old Mental Institution on the map here. Last one holding out, trying to keep that control as it is going to stay contested until Arisa does inevitably go down.
That took a little bit, so still a two-turn hold here. So for Mental Institution, they're pretty good fight back. Take a look at the ultimate economy right now. Sumshigi as well as Hani and Ursa. All these players do have ults ready to go if they wish to fire away, but getting into the mix is the big part. Spear landing on a critical target, but you can see the rest of Electro Giants ready to tango.
Yeah, once again, the team's gonna mirror that strategy, moving him out. But then there's gonna be a crazy play with the Symmetra portal down into the point. Ultimate's coming out here, spending everything, gonna make sure you can hold on to this. It's so crucial right now. Emil finding amazing railgun shots, headshots, big damage into the opposing team. Their play was excellent, but the railgun was ready.
And that's how you counter. You shut them down where they stand. The flank option plus the orbital ray was impressive. Monkey held that one for the right time, and you corral them in perfectly. So that's a 2-turn done. And all of a sudden, it's the likes of Mental Institution that have to play a little bit careful. They're going to go a roundabout way. They're just trying to charge up. I'm not sure if it's going to work that well, though, as DJ gets caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, knocking on the back door, but someone's here to answer. And there is Electrogiant and everyone making their way, collapsing, finding some damage into them. A bit more on the side of Mental Institution at the moment, but they're going to get speared backwards, unfortunately, pushing him back into the point. Now they're on point. Urson Jones not going to make the trek, though. DJ Ashray getting pretty low. Toon Shiki going down, unfortunately. Emil going down as well, but there's still an advantage for Electrogiant as they chase the opponents off the point here. Gonna heal into Electrogiant. Might be a last second critical heal to not keep him up, unfortunately, but that's okay because they still have an equal kind of number here as soon Shigi makes her way back. It could be a big of a difference maker there, and they do pass with a lead in terms of the tick rate.
Oh man, very, very dangerous overall. And I mean, this is gonna be a one-touch game afterwards. I mean, you give it over to the likes of Electrogiants, and they're gonna take it away. What a snipe, though. You go ahead and annihilate Emil, and that's gonna be the destructive force. That's gonna be a wash out. Very nicely done by Mental Institution.
Yeah, taking down both DPS is so awesome. It's going to take so much power away from them as they do go down to the bridge here, defending that one kind of way in at the moment. Watch the back door, of course, but they're looking so strong in Mental Institution with only 20% left to go on their side, 9% on the other side. And there goes the play for the back door once again. Here they're making their way through. Some damage coming through, of course. Monkey HW getting to mid HP, but Arisa, Electrogiant himself, can make his way down here. Zeus going down on the way. Monkey HW down, unfortunately. The assault here is going to be so dicey as the whole team is getting annihilated with the ult commitment by Mental Institution. And big highlight to just everyone there, especially Warhater Sam bringing out the big damage with the Batiste boost.
Oh man, and it was a very tough fight at the end of the day. That's what we like to see, and it was as hard of a fight as possible that it even knocked my camera out. That was the worst part. And it was powerful. Again, we saw the level of fight, and honestly, I think Mental Institution made it a little bit more difficult for themselves. And Symmetra is not well known as the highest DPS output. It is more of a secondary. You use it for the teleports, you use it for getting into an objective. You don't use it for actual fights. And yes, you can barricade yourself, but that bomb right there, Hani was doing it so well, using that Junkrat. But it was just, this was I feel Mental Institution put a little handicap on themselves, but either way fought extremely well, and it could have gone either way. I mean, Electrogiants did the exact same.
Yeah, popping back to the point mid game was really impressive, and Mental Institution tried their best, but then they came back around and they did try that gambit with the portal, like you said. It's pretty impressive. And then I couldn't exactly tell how valuable the Symmetra ultimate wall was, but it felt decently good during that one fight that it was used in. Otherwise, though, we're going to see how this affects their net going to the next match because Mental Institution is up 1 point, which is huge, and a best of 5 here, finding a lot of value there. And we know that our next game mode type is going to be a hybrid type round. We'll see what map it is shortly. But as you mentioned earlier today, they could kind of switch gears as they change these game modes, right?
It's not so much switch gears.
No?
It's very much maybe a team prefers one way or another. And I didn't see that here. It felt like both teams were very comfortable with the brawler style. And when I say that, it's a very, it's a very attack defense where you swap pretty much whether you're on attack or defense depending on, the current situation. When it comes to a hybrid or escort, it's very straightforward. Like there's no
Mm,
other change to it. It is you're on attack or you're on defense. There is no question about it. So that's what I was really mentioning. But both teams are ready to rumble
gotcha.
in a control. So now going into this escort, I honestly can't see either team really stepping up even more so. I think both teams are going to put up a very big fight, and I do wonder. I think the defense is going to show us a lot of information depending on who gets it. I am wondering if Mental Institution are on the attack first, or if they're going to be on the defense, because that's who I'm kind of. I'm not going to lie, their gameplay has kind of sold me so far, and obviously they won game number 1, so coming in here to, I believe, King's Row, which is of course another standard, it makes sense.
Yeah, seeing them as kind of the aggressive winner of this first one. Well, they're both going to have their chance to try either side, which is exciting, and see how the clock kind of ticks down for either one. And yeah, seeing the map itself, as you mentioned, maybe King's Row could be cool. Another OG map. Man, 8-year-old maps, huh? I know it's Overwatch 2, but we still got those kind of old school ones lying around, which is nice. And yeah, I'm excited to see what they pick, and the bands more importantly. I wonder how this first match is going to affect that. Characters like Arisa having such kind of a large presence there, and I'm sure they're useful on the other mode as well.
Yep. It's gonna be a fun one. And honestly, I'm sitting here still wondering how these bands are gonna really play into it. I mean, the Genji on King's Row tends to be a pretty big staple, I think. And so the fact that it is banned away means that, teams can't use a flanking angle as heavily. You can still pull off flanks, but Genji is well known as the either break through the front door or just look at a flank angle. There are plenty of houses to move your way through, plenty of alleyways that you can kind of hike your way through. So this will be it'll be very very fun. I'll sit here and decide, like, ooh, this is gonna be either a very bloody game, but of course on Kings Row, if it is Kings Row, I do want to double check.
Yeah,
Um, if it is Kings Row, there are about 3 choke points that I'll be looking for during the escort. Number one is the first archway. Once you capture the point, that first one always seems to be a little bit of a tick. I wouldn't call it a hard stop, but it can be. It can be a very hard stop. Some of these teams can't get under the archway, and it becomes a problem when you're attacking. The defense can usually line up some sort of kind of funnel system. But then the second one comes much further on down. It's actually after the first checkpoint in the escort. Once they start trying to turn that corner, that's where a lot of the questions come out. And then the third, I always say, is around that corner. It's so weird where these choke points tend to happen, but it always is in that funnel. So I'll be very very curious to see if it plays out and how well it works. But I'll be looking at both teams to see if they can pull that off.
yeah. That final room that you're mentioning for the choke, it is like a hassle, man. I spent so many hours in that spot just having a tough time, man. Back when I used to, yeah. But yeah, here we are. We do have some of the bands aforementioned, and yeah, having some characters freed up for this match is awesome too. But from one side, we did see Arisa and Baptiste going down. That's Electrogiant's bands against Mental Institution, both characters that were heavily utilized in this last round. So it's going to be a bit of a time until we see those guys once again. And we don't have the bands just yet for the other side, but we should have them soon.
Yeah, and hopefully we get them very very quickly. I want to know
Yeah,
what these teams are not wanting to play against. I wouldn't be surprised. Depending if they want to. I would kind of chuckle at the looks of maybe like a Reaper or something like that, but I don't think Reaper is played too highly between these teams. We've seen Reapers do a lot of work on Kings Row, but it's not optimal, if we can say that. There are some that you kind of sit there and go, okay, you don't really have to worry about it, but at the end of the day, it's what are the DPS on the other side really comfortable with, or what are they uncomfortable with? And you have to kind of sit there and balance those choices out. So it'll take a little bit of time. I'm sure they'll get it, but hopefully they come through soon.
yeah, it's exciting to see. And oh man, I want to believe in the Reaper. You know, the classic flanks kind of in like the windows and everything. If you're not paying attention, teleports up those little cross. Yeah, that's a good time. And I think we are confirming. Oh, here we are. The bands are
Ooh.
coming through. This is the bands from Mental Institution against Electrogiant and Friends. It's gonna be Sojourner and Anna. Anna, not a character that we saw earlier, but Anna's certainly a character that could be useful in the situations that we're gonna see here. Good old sniper healer.
Yeah, and I think this also takes away the identity of like a Reinhardt comp.
Mm,
Reinhardts do love to have a little bit of extra healing with that Anna in the back lines, and also again, as we said, does double as a pretty hefty DPS at points. But we've
yeah.
seen that sleep also be very very annoying. If given the opportunity, you snipe someone out of the air or you catch someone on the ground, and all of a sudden that Anna is just like, haha, I got it up there. The Sojourn though, taking away one of the better hit scan types, working the way in and just being able to well, I wouldn't say fully hit scan, but it's a nice one to ban away. It's just a staple that you don't want to see go through. So I don't dislike that one either. You take away a strong DPS that here on King's Row is very very necessary, and you say, yeah, you can't. We're not going to see that here today.
Yeah, Emil's is spending a lot of time on Sojourner as well, so it's gonna be a shame to see them taken away from one of their characters, but they'll get it back later. You know, they can't see a ban on it any other time tonight, but it's certainly a good move to maybe find some advantage here, get a second round win. You never know for the side of Mental Institution and keeping your opponent down. But yeah, I believe that they're ready to get into this very soon, and man, it's exciting.
It is going to be exciting. Again, for this chance, we're taking a look, and it could be the likes of Mental Institution getting off to a 2-0 lead in this series, remember it's a best of 5. It's a first of 3. So, you know,
Yeah.
if you go ahead and put it onto game point here, that or a series point, that would be huge to say the least. But we are going to go ahead and get into this map, and it is going to be the holiday map. You can go ahead and see
Oh, cool.
the ever so lovely Winter Kings Row, and you gotta love it. You gotta enjoy the snow. And I know my friends down in Texas are getting absolutely none, but here on Kings Row, we're enjoying it.
Oh yeah, yeah. London's got a bit of a climate going on, so yeah, it's cool to see stuff like this going. But man, what a nostalgic map, dude. There's that bus at the beginning, that gateway there, and that little pathway to the side, the tower, the statue. It's a lot you can do here. Lots of spots you can go, and we see some characters get picked. Okay, here's Emil, seeing that no sojourns on the table and going for a Widowmaker. A lot of high angles that he can shoot from for sure. On the other side, we do see an answer with possibly Ash, a very similar character, shooting from long range there. And wow, Sumshigi, right? Wrecking Ball is no longer banned. They were banned last round, and now they're back on the table.
Yay, Wrecking Ball, one of my favorites. It's silly, it's annoying, and it's so much fun. Again, as I was saying, this character, this hero tends to be very, very silly. It just gets to be annoying, and it gets to be fun. Is the best way I put it. So hopefully it works out and disrupts a lot of plans. We were talking about the Genji this time. You know, Genji wasn't banned, so Hani's gonna pick that one up, and yeah, let's see what they can do.
It's good to see them all back on here. And then Wrecking Ball is making his way in, gonna slam in with his ground pound, find a bit of damage onto Zeus, running along Caboose, getting some shots into Hani, who's a bit far up, but they got that deflection, of course. So it's gonna be up to Shigi once again, making his way through and find some kills onto Electrogiant and friends. Both Emil and Zeus going down, which is tough. Both DPS out of the picture, gonna delay their team quite a bit. As man, yeah.
And not only that, giving a lot of percentages over as well. But Hani eats a lot of damage for Genji. That's very dangerous. You're trying to rack it up. Good heals to come out here, but Electrogiant goes down with the opening salvo.
Yeah, oh, it's so tough when your tank goes down. Only one tank per team, so push is going to be a bit of a tough time for now, as they're still stuck in kind of this opening courtyard right outside the spawn room. And Shigi is always ready. And great job on Urson Jones. You see those trading cards going up to heal him there. They keep making sure he's in good shape. As we do see a swap to D.Va here, trying to push through with more of an aggressive tank. But man, great play by good old Shigi on the hamster, as Emil, Zeus, and Monkey HW all go down.
It's not just that. Hani has actually been not worrying too much about the tank. Actually took out, I believe, 2 utility in the back line, which allowed Shigi to focus on the tanks itself, and that's what a hamster wants to do. Hamster wants to be out in the front side. The Wrecking Ball wants to be just kind of in the front line, but not have to worry about too much damage coming out. So Hani really becoming that annoyance, that pain in the butt. They've actually drawn off about 1.5 to 2 minutes now.
Yeah, just gotta keep this up. We got Shigi delaying them, Hani taking their time as well, and the heal's doing a great job. And DJ Ashtray, I think we're not focusing on them, but they're certainly over here doing big damage. As you can see the minefield come out, Caboose going down, getting slammed up by the ninja himself, as we see Electrogiant trying to make their way through. Shields are live, but it's so tough when this orb is in your way.
And that was huge. Shigi pretty much solo defending that first capture. That was the first time we saw Electrogiants actually get a touchdown, and they're realizing they gotta play a scatter game. They're gonna play a little bit more bruiser, a lot more brawler style. You can see the swap out to Cassie as well as the Genji themselves. But look at the ults ready to go on the other side.
A huge blast into there, trying to get to the side building, but it's not working out for them. Both DPS going down for Electrogiant. DJ Atray also going down, but it doesn't matter because they have so much aggression here. Hani's up with Shigi, not for the moment though, as the healers keep Shigi up, and themselves, they're doing a great job. Winston here, great pick, gonna find a lot of Tesla coil damage onto the opposition. And man, what a huge shield for Monkey HW here, making their way in. Got the shield bash ready. Big damage, keeping them off that point. They just got one little tick at the moment, but the contesting is real right now, as the Kitsune rush is coming through from Caboose here.
Oh, man.
Sorry, my mistake. Urson Jones, as, oh my gosh, another one going down. Deadeye finding a kill there, which is a crucial kill. It's going to be up to Bob to act as a proxy tank for the moment. Doing a great job keeping his team in there. And a great job on Cole Cassidy. Almost said the wrong name. Finding some shots into here. His rival across the way, though, and they are getting pushed off. The contesting is happening.
Well, of course, that contest can only work as well as you wish, because now we get to see that rebuttal. Shigi rushing in. Hani just fell, but another minefield goes out, so your son James able to fire away on Emil, and this is going to be a huge point. Zeus getting pulled up on the back end, but you need to get back on point. You only have 1.5 sticks, and you're still trying to take up no one from the side. A mental institution is able to hold on as Zeus goes crazy in the back line. Well done by Electrogiant to go ahead and swing for the fences and give a touch, albeit a very last-minute touch, over to the side of this squad. But Warhater Sam might do some work here, and they do. They've held on to 3. Ain't no way! That will be a defense for the ages for a mental institution.
Oh my gosh. They got to defend that first point the entire round to try and keep up with these guys. That is, oh my gosh. Impressive play by the side here.
That is wild. That is wild.
Holy.
That's all I'm gonna say here. Mental institution. It literally ticked up. It was 2.5, and we're sitting there. You and I are sitting there going, man, that should be over. That should be capped. Yes, they'll be able to get another 1.5 minutes. Yes, it'll be difficult. But what a holdout. We saw those kills come out on Emil as well as Zeus, and that's what really turned the tides. They drew everyone off. By the way, they were not comfortable. And Subshigi again, getting that ultimate at the last moment, getting that minefield down at the very last moment is what caused what feels like that collapse at the end of the day. So very, very well done. Now we get to see a push in, and I like this once again, going back to that Genji Subshigi on the hamster, and the hamster is just going to be a freaking menace. But Zeus back on the Torbjorn. This should help out. You should have a little bit more coverage. And again, this is what Zeus is made for with the Torbjorn. You want to run a defensive-sided comp. You want to get that turret up and running, and you allow your team to work around you just as well.
Yeah, we know Zeus is very skilled with the Torbjorn turret, of course, so it's going to be up to him and his friends to kind of organize. But we do see a bit of a cheeky pick here, sneaky pick. DJ Ashtray going on to Sombra. Going to have to watch out for that one initially here.
If it works, it works, but I'm very curious on this initial push. Mental Institution have a good handle on how to work, and we're really watching Subshigi.
Oh man, they're deep in enemy territory right now, finding some damage into the backline healers. Gonna see the hack onto D.Va there, taking him out of commission for a moment as Hani is making his way through on the Genji. Almost finds a kill onto Emil, but great job by the healers, keeping him up there barely. A deflect into a dash to find both DPS. Okay, they're starting to crumple here. It's not looking so good here as the contesting is already happening right now. They're finding just a couple ticks here and there, but Electrogiant himself is going down. It's down to just the supports over on the side of Electrogiant and friends to keep the point up, but it's going little by little. The blue bar is ascending as Warhater Sam is taking the team some good old heals.
I mean, that's all you need. It's over. It's done.
Yeah.
That was Mental Institution being absolute ballers. And I mean, ballers, I think is the right term. Subshigi came out with some bluster, and I want to see if this was Subshigi getting that play of the game. There's a moment you see the swap down, but no, Warhater Sam getting some on the Alari, which I believe was just this recent turn here. Look at these snipes here coming out on the back end. Snipe one helps out with a couple assists on the back end, and then able to pick up an extra. Yeah, this was brutal to watch.
Holy, just so much DPS for a support character, right? But their placement was great, and they found so many opportunities to try and keep in the match there. And in the first round, I believe there was a really kind of devastating ultimate that came out for them as well, like a big shot, right? Like there was lots of options for them, and yeah, great job keeping them off the point the whole round. Oh my gosh, so that's pretty crushing. We see the 2-0 at the moment, right, for the side of Mental Institution. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared as well. I do believe we are going to Flashpoint, and I could be wrong. I might want to double check, but I think we are going to Flashpoint, which now brings it back to the one difficult map on either side, which granted might be different now that we get to see Subshigi's hamster. Like that hamster made such a difference. Not only that, the Genji came out and decimated across the board. Like we see why these were banned out in the previous games. So really, really big pickups. I mean, Hani and Subshigi were looking so devastatingly strong that I don't care which map of Flashpoint you go to, it's going to be a hard choice to try and figure out if you can get a win.
Yeah, such mobile characters, and they really did a good job moving together because they know that they can get up there together, and they have their supports keeping an eye on them so they can make some mess. And then in the back line, they had an Ashe doing lots of damage too, right? Like there's a lot of opportunities here, and Flashpoint's cool. A lot of opportunities for the terrain this time around, of course. But once again, as you said, Hammond is great. He's just great everywhere, right? He's got so many kind of cool angles he can come from, and it's exciting to see. And then bans, they can't ban him again, so Let's see what they choose this time around. And the characters from the last round, of course, unbanned now, so we're going to see them back on the board.
Yeah, this is the. I'm once again very, very curious what they're going to opt for. I mean, there's not that many choices, right? Like you're already kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place for Electro Giants and friends. This group has just looked a little bit lost in this last game. They looked okay fighting back in game one, but right now it's like you're going back to control all over again, and it really does feel like you have to find a way to shut down the Hammond, to shut down the hamster themselves. I respect Hani for how much they're doing. I 100% respect it. But right now, the Wrecking Ball is getting away with a little bit too much. The whole reason Hani was able to
Yeah.
find that attacking side flank is because the Hammond was able to get a full flank side, get all the way to the back end, allow Hani to walk on the edge, and actually lock on, I believe, to the Torbjorn in the back, and that was the big devastating blow. So find a way to stop the Hammond, which I understand it's way easier said than done. I get that. There's a
Yeah.
reason I'm a caster and not a player. It's easier said than done, but that is, I think, the goal that they need to go for. Find a way to deal with the Wrecking Ball. And after that, you can chase the DPS. After that, Hani doesn't have anyone distracting, and you can put down that DPS as much as possible as the Electro Giant in Friends.
Yeah, a character Anna was banned last round, so could see that as a possible answer for Wrecking Ball. Puts him out of commission momentarily with a good old sleep dart. But other than that, like it's going to be up to them to kind of select something, and I don't want to talk for them. We'll see what they show us in a moment here,
Right.
along with their bans as well. Let's see what they're going to choose, because yeah, the mobility is what's really kind of winning them that last round.
Yeah, this has been a very, very fun little test here, and I'm curious to see um as well mental institution. This last game looked very, very strong, but are you going to get a chance? And it looks like we are going to new junks, so that's going to be not Saravasa, so a little bit more, I want to say, obvious routes. And I also think a lot of the drop offs are not going to be that scary. Saravasa has a couple of cliff sides that you can drop off of by accident, and I think New Junk City doesn't have as many drops off the edge.
Oh yeah, but yeah, this one's got a lot of walls kind of between the points, so there's a lot of kind of strategic play with those and make sure that you can have some good positioning. And you know that Electrogiant loves playing Junker Queen, and they're going to take her to a kind of a namesake map, which could be cool. Great character for a lot of skirmishing and making sure they can do some damage. And that anti-heal could be a great answer for characters like Hammond who are getting healed up by two supports at once, making sure they can't mess around as much.
Yeah, that would be very, very important. But of course, now we also have to remember Electro Giants and friends. This is the last chance. You have to win perfectly from here on out. I wouldn't say perfectly. You can win by the skin of your teeth, but you do need wins at the end of the day. You have to be able to get these wins down. And this is the most difficult. Again, for those that may not know, this is going to be a a very simple, straightforward one. It's literally the control map all over again, except it's a BO5 within the game itself. So
Yeah.
the main transition is the fact that you can give a point if you want to conserve your ults. If you want to conserve your
Hmm.
ultimates, you can actually give up a point and be like, we don't have to worry about that. We'll go to point. If we won point one, let's aim at point three instead of point two, but let's make it difficult for them. Let's make them expend some ultimates and things like that. That's kind of the fun mind games that we get to watch go through, even though it is still very fast to get the points overall. Like theoretically, you can have an ult every time you go to a point fight, but that's beside the point. I'm very curious to see how the teams roll out and who is going to get that first point under their control.
Yeah, going between the points, as you said, it is great, and it's like a lot of mobility is going to be important for that. And heads up, but we do have some bans here from the side of Electrogiant against the the mental institution. We'll have Kariko and Junkrat banned, both characters that have been shown before, and Junkrat being kind of menacing on control point kind of maps as well, doing lots of AoE damage into the defenders. And then Kariko just being super solid. We saw a mirror match of Kariko last round, even such a valuable character.
Oh, 100%. It was, and again, that gate rush is brutal
Oh my
to
god.
deal with as well. And that is one of those speed ups that you really hate in a control point centric game type. You hate the ability of a team to rush onto sites. So I like it. It makes sense. You don't want to deal with it, so you ban it out. And I think that is a very stable and understandable choice. Will it be enough? I'm not sure. Of course, the other large DPS factors are going to come into play. I think Junkrat worked well on Lijiang Tower, and I understand. I think this was DJ's like one of their. I think it was DJ that played it last time, or was it Hani? I don't remember. Um, Either way, it was a powerful pick. I don't think it was the most powerful. It's useful with the tire. It's not great. So I think you're going to be okay with this ban coming out here, and you're going to sit there and go, okay, all we have to do, figure out another stance. All we have to do is go for, maybe hit scan, maybe just straight up, whatever you wish to go for, because Sojourn is, of course, still operational.
Oh yeah, Sojourn is definitely back on the board. Both teams have shown
Yep.
that character before, so great character for some hit scan and big damage opportunities. Railgun gameplay is always super strong, and they also had that verticality. They could jump over some of those walls that are kind of dividing the points as well. Get some cheeky shots from midair. But yeah, we do see them still discussing some of the bans on the other side. But I'm excited to see what they choose. This may be the last bans they have to do for mental institution, right? It's
hmm
possible.
I mean, you're going to sit there and go, It's going to be a big question. So it looks like, ooh, okay.
Oh,
So
hey.
you and I were kind of curious about this. We get our first venture ban of this series. That is a very interesting ban to come out here, along with the Juno.
Yeah, Juno. Juno is certainly a great character. Getting out in the air there, bringing some support from up high, and some great ultimates back in round two were certainly sprung. Or round one. Round one had some really good Juno ultimates sprung on the third part of Lijiang Tower, so we're not going to see a repeat of that this round. And then Venture, I'm not even super familiar with that character, so I guess I'm glad I don't have to witness them at the moment. But run us through why that might have been picked.
Mm, Honestly, I will be flat out honest. I don't know. I understand Venture can be
Hmm.
strong, and I understand there were some tweaks recently to a lot of the characters, to a lot of the heroes being released, but I I'm not sure if any of these players have enough practice on the hero to say like we want to ban out. But I think it's a safety ban. Either way, you just say, hey, we need to ban something out, and we don't want to allow that to fall into the hands of the others. So I'll be honest, I don't know if that was necessary, but I think it was
Okay.
just like it was on the list. And obviously, you can't
Yeah.
ban everything out. It was like there was already another set of bans earlier on in the game that you were like, we can't ban those. Okay, let's just target focus
Yeah.
in the support side.
Yeah, and also it's one ban per role per team as well, so they were limited in that sense. But now we're gonna take a look at New Junk City here, do a little bit of a tour before we get to the action. It is a huge map due to the type of mode that it is. Man,
Yep. It'll be good. It'll be good. I'm sitting here going, I am highly curious to see what they decide to pull out here and how they're gonna fight it out. Again, this is a very breakneck pace, and I am just highly curious to see what they use. And oh, okay. So Tsushigi is going to run the Orisa, and I like this call down. You go ahead and have that Orisa again, but there it is. Like we knew it was gonna come out. Right, for Electrogiant, we knew this was going to be there. Not only
oh
that,
yeah.
Emil getting the Tracer is going to feel so dang good in their hands.
Oh yeah, the last series I cast with Electrogiant, I did not have the pleasure of seeing Tracer at all, but we spoke too soon as they jump over to Symmetra, maybe just for this initial portal. But there's a lot you can do because that timing is super important here, making a way there. Lucio to speed up the team, Monkey HW making sure the team is nice and quick. Emil back on the Tracer, of course, so it is just that initial gimmick. Warhater Sam on the Ana, which is freed up from last round as well. Earth and Jones gonna be up in here, but we do see immediately skirmishing. This is what this map type is all about, just battles and battles as Electrogiant and Zeus go down. Damage coming down to Hani and DJ Ashtray, but they're going to heal up very surely, and that's almost a team wipe towards Electrogiant, unfortunately.
The whole thing is it would have been a wipe if Emil didn't get slept and wasn't able to charge in and then be able to blink back. Like, that was the whole thing. So, really nice start. Hottie was also able to grab 2 kills, which means that you're bucked up to about 37%, keeping up with your son, James. So, this is a huge point grab for the likes of Mental Institution.
Man, that's what you want to see. They're kind of showing match point potential here as well. Great start. they're gonna have to come out strong as they have been. Hani in the mix here, unfortunately going down to some hatred from the damagers here over on Electrogiant. He's in there with the anti-heal, unfortunately, on him. Gonna get healed up last second by good old Caboose, keeping him up and alive, and lots of damage coming out down onto Mental Institution. All of them going down. It's going to be a swap of the capture point, and they're only 60% in. These took up really fast given how many there are.
Yep, that was a huge play, and that was a very nice side flank angle. So well done to the likes of this Electrogiant and Friends squad. But we're really watching for Emil. Emil has to play backline access and already getting ticked out for about 50%. Needs to get back to some heals, but getting caught off by the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's hard when you're kind of like a squishy guy walking into an entire arsenal at the moment. But Electrogiant is doing a great job of leading the charge for his friends. We do see the ultimate come out from the die. Finding huge damage onto Zeus and Electrogiant himself. They're going to go down. Monkey HW quick to follow. Warhater Sam as well, but it doesn't really matter because there's so much of an advantage for the side of Mental Institution. Chasing down the last remaining member into a team wipe, and Soom Shigi is going to blast off that minigun in celebration.
I want to talk about the fact that was a usage, and then you followed up with kills afterwards, which already puts Hani on 30%. But there is Zeus with the Dragon Blade ready to go. The blade to slice through everyone to get a right angle push. And Electrogiant on 81% as well. This being a big turnaround.
Oh, here it is. He's going to go in. Unfortunately, he's going to get blasted immediately. There goes Zeus. No value off of that. DJ Ashtray holding his own ultimate at the moment. And here comes some of the damage down from Caboose. Going to be a bit of an even situation until we do see the tank go down for Electrogiant. Monkey HW following to the grave as well. And it's just, it's gonna be so hard as this point goes towards Mental Institution initially.
Oh, and that hurts Electrogiant. We talked about the old usage. Are you gonna hold it, or are you gonna use it? And Electrogiant, not only did Zeus get snapped in the back by Hani at the beginning as well, but Electrogiant tried to use the ult as well and missed. They weren't able to get a kill, but they got killed right afterwards. So huge devastating loss as we move into point 2.
Yes, resources are so important in this mode, as you're saying, Orbital. We're gonna see how they spend them here as we do see the beat drop come through, trying to keep the team up. It's gonna pay off here as they do find quite a bit of damage down onto Mental Institution. There goes Soom Shigi, Urson Jones. It's a full team wipe, an opportunity to grab the point here initially. And then they can maybe play outwards a little bit, find some value outside of this area to keep the enemies off, huh?
I think so, but honestly, I feel like that was a gimme a little bit by Mental Institution. They knew they weren't able to really get there as quickly as they would like. They got caught on the side flank, and so, yeah, you're a little bit worried. But Emil is now going to charge in, gets a sticky, and doesn't land it either. So that hurts Emil, even knowing that, yeah, that was an opportunity to slow them down, but unfortunately, you lost that ult now.
Yeah, perhaps the investment didn't really work out for him. That's okay. There's always another day. As we are just on the second one here. Here comes DJ Ashtray to find some value into the enemy team. Getting hurt. A Caboose going down. Zeus getting really low. Urson. Oh my god. A great usage of the blade here. Finding so much value. That Dashin is just aggressive as hell. And Soom Shigi, the last remaining member. And once again, another team wipe. Great job by Electrogiant and friends.
I mean, that was an expenditure of the Death Blossom, and that was about it. So again, you're being met by control from Caboose and friends as well. Caboose expending and making sure to keep everyone kind of topped off, but also melted in that same vein. Soom Shigi, though, finding a kill onto Emil. So this might be the chance that they are looking for as its OT.
Yeah, going for that contest. Here comes the blade. Big damage into his opponents here. They're going to keep up that nano, unfortunately. So it's going to be kind of tough, but Zeus and Electrogiant going down. Hani, Warhater Sam is a 3-3 situation right now. Your son James going down. DJ Ashtray getting really low. Great job by Caboose, finding some drains onto the opponents. That auto aim is not to be underestimated, as we do see Emil jumping around here, getting those pokes into Soom Shigi. What a tanky character, but it doesn't matter when you're getting kind of surrounded. And there goes the clap back to the 99% last tick here to finish off that overtime.
And that hurts actually a lot right back. We mentioned the ability and the wants of trying to get that point, and honestly, I don't know if that was a good investment. Everyone pretty much on the side of Mental Institution is now down, sitting under about 50% outside of Soom Shigi. So for Electrogiants and friends, they get free control over this third point. They're going to be so happy about this fight. And as long as they group up together, as long as they keep eyes on the sides and allow Emil to get a nice flank, maybe even a bomb off, this could be a huge turn for them.
Yeah, Yeah, the usage of the ultimate here by Electrogiant immediately after earning it. Gonna find some kills. DJ Astray, Hani, Warhater, Sam's going down too. Yursa, James, and Soomshigi once again are the last remaining members to kind of bulwark at this point, but it doesn't matter as the contest is going heavily in the favor of Electrogiant and friends right now. They're gonna find it. This is awesome. The potential to get a second one. There's still a lot to be said about this point, but they're making great progress.
Oh, 100%. I would say 1,000% progress right there. You take advantage of the fact that there were no ultimates. Electrogiant and Emil both knew that. And I believe the bomb on the backside helped kind of clear them out, force them into the Junker Queen's grasp. So really, really well done. Now we watch Caboose and Monkey. You got the beat drops ready to work. You got a little extra damage, but I mean, Mental Institution, they got to group up. They got to get ready for this battle.
Yeah, they're loading up those ultimates. Here comes the BRB set team up though. And unfortunately, Emil's gonna get squished out as DJ Astray, the DPS getting really hurt on the side of Mental Institution right now. Hani living with 1 HP in his shadow form, I believe. But Warhater Sam going down. There's just nobody left on the squad of Mental Institution to contest at the moment.
And even forcing DJ Astray to change over to the Tracer themselves. That is when you know you kind of won. You realize, you force the opponent to realize that they're not going to win playing this certain style. So being forced to meet a Tracer v Tracer because of the fact that Mental Institution's backline has been axed way too many times.
Oh, but here comes the beat drop. Keeping Electrogiant and your friends super healthy through all of this big damage coming through. Zeus not finding the best value with the blade, unfortunately, but that's okay. He's jumping on off, he's deflecting, he's gonna duel this DJ Astray. Going down, unfortunately. Great job by DJ Astray. Here comes Soomshigi into the point on the Hammond once again, his namesake. But big damage coming through here. Rotating around, Zeus and Hani down at the moment. Caboose going down. Electrogiant soon to follow, possibly, as he's fighting for his life, but it doesn't matter as this may be the flip here. And yes, it is, of course, my mistake. 38%, and it's taken up.
And this is where we get to see the likes of Hani and DJ Astray now kind of sitting forwards in their chair. Hani swapping over to the NG, back on the namesakes like you mentioned, so it feels like they went right back, and here comes the slam.
Oh my gosh, he's waiting in the rafters for him. It's a horror movie right now as he spooks them down into the match, but they're they forgot. So this is gonna be a big tick up. Will they contest in time? Just barely.
Oh my god.
They're gonna have to scramble for this one though, as we do see the minefield available now. Nano Boost also in the chamber, as we do see some damage coming out right now. There is the pulse bomb, finding some value on the Caboose going down, unfortunately. Electrogiant holding it down. Great job by them, supported by quite a few players, but that might be the end of their reign on this point. 99-99 overtime, questionable, and there is a great dash in. Finish off what remains of Electrogiant and friends.
DJ Astray with the pick of the century right there. The pick of the game, in my opinion. Finding Caboose. Caboose was 99%, one tick away from having the ultimate. Was so good and so important to not allow them to be able to stay alive. That's why they were able to keep. That was a mistake by the side of Mental Institution. They left the point that was so close to getting turned. That was so problematic. Now on to point 4.
Yeah, despite being under pressure, they managed to make it work though, which is awesome. Tesla Coil finding some damage into Warhater Sam, chasing down this little hallway here. There we go. We got the ultimate coming out from Caboose to find that healing onto his team, keeping them up best he can. Warhater Sam, Hani, your son James, all going down. It's going to be a bit of an initial value for good old Electrogiant friends. And we got Soomshigi running through.
Just trying to stay alive, but you were able to force that tick to slow down. They weren't able to cap until much later, so instead of being at about 20 to 25, you're sitting about 15. So that's a much better stance. And now you get back into the mix right away with the rest of the team, so maybe we get to see Mental Institution take this much earlier than 99%.
Yeah, oh man, hopefully they can keep it going here. They are getting a bit of a poke and harass from the team here, as Hani barely getting boosted by a shield in the last second there to keep his ultimate going, finding a lot of value onto his opponents here. Huge damage, a team wipe from Mental Institution. Electrogiant and friends are gonna have to try really hard to get this point back here.
Hani said, I got a beat drop and a drop of death as well. Brutal slice, but this is going to be that chance once again for Electrogiant and friends. They have ultimates almost ready to go, all of them sitting well above 60%. Let's see if they can do some work, or are we going to get those minefields out as well?
Oh, minefield is devastating as always, and it has been spent now as we do see them getting back onto the point here. Emil getting really close, finding a kill to Monkey HW at the moment. War Hater Sam also going down, support down for each of them. Emil unfortunately going as well. This is so even right now in terms of who's going down, and there goes Hani as well. Zeus is going to spend his blade to get in there, make sure they can cap this one back to their favor. And great old Caboose as always, finding so much value with their heals and DPS combination. Man, awesome clap back. Might be a 2-2 shortly here. One more shot for Mental Institution to get this point back.
And for Hani and DJ Ashtray, you have to realize Caboose is doing a lot of work right now with this Moira. This Moira is so key to the plans of Electrogiant and Krent. It is all important, but that is going to be a touchdown.
No.
Sushiga's like, yo, where is everyone? I got a free cap right now. Are you kidding me?
A mirror of last point as well. They have to scramble to get it back, right? Because they just kind of, man, they got it stolen. Unfortunate. A couple players going down on the side of Mental Institution, but they still have quite a few to contest right now, as we do see Electrogiant aping out here, finding lots of value, taking down the Genji right now. Back on there with the Tesla coil, finding lots of damage. I think they're flipping back to it, and there we go. Overtime's going to run it out, and it's going to be a final point of the Flashpoint map type coming along.
Oh man, you were just delaying. That's all you were doing there, but instead you gave over a count. So Emil now swapping to the Sojourn, which is what we were mentioning before. This Sojourn can do a lot of work. So Hottie and DJ Ashtray, you're looking for Caboose. Every time you're looking for Caboose, can you kill Caboose first before Caboose gets all those heals off? If not, you're in trouble. That's gonna be another slam though, as Sumshigi is trying to run interference again, even before the point comes out.
Man, what a character, man. Hammond, so much value when he's engaging here. Baptiste's gonna keep some people up with his immortality field, not paying off that much, so unfortunately, as they just get stomped out. Monkey HW and his friends making their way around. Emil doing some great job with the first rapid fire here. And oh god, dude, a team wipe, and great job just getting back on the Sojourn here, finding lots of value. This room is great for it too, you know, like lots of angles, lots of good spots to hang out. Such a mobile character.
And the weird thing is, we've seen the likes of Mental Institution group up, play well, they find the angles as well, but I mean, we need to see it strong arm their way in. Sumshigi has their ultimate, Hani has their ultimate, so this could be the turnaround that they want.
Yeah, Urson Jones holding in the chamber as well right now. Just a bit of aggression, finding lots of kills without the use of too many ultimates. Here comes the Blade, gonna find the last kill there along with his friends, hunting down Electrogiant himself. There goes the Monkey, and they're gonna flip this point to their side. Just great assault.
But of course, it was an expenditure. Keep eyes on what they have in the consumable areas. They have those ultimates ramping up to go, and guess what? I'm not worried about Emil or Zeus. I'm worried about Caboose.
Oh, yeah, that laser's coming along in a moment here. Your son James actually strategically held on to his ultimate, so he still got that one in the chamber as well. DJ Ashtray is coming up in a moment now with the pulse bomb, but they get Zeus. No way, dude. And they're trying to crumple here on the way back to the point. Great tick up for the side of Mental Institution as you have some more action going along here. Electrogiant going down as well, Monkey HW, and that's it, another team kill. And they are now taking the lead on this point.
It's not another team kill only, it's a team kill on the other side, and it was such a good opportunity. That's the options that we wanted from Mental Institution. We've seen them do that before, but they did it without the ultimate sign. Now Sushigi's running interference, trying to get in the back line, trying to be a bully, and maybe they're going to hold out for this point capture and end it 3-0 here.
And there goes the laser beam from Caboose, finding lots of value, taking out the opposing Moira of War Hater Sam. Great damage, gonna suck down this good old Urson Jones. And then, yeah, they're gonna flip it back, I think, in the last second here. It's gonna be a lot of work to hold on to it, though. They are holding Ape Rage and the Beat Drop, though, so there's a lot of opportunity for them to really keep it together.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sumshigi again. Sumshigi is about 15% off, uses that minefield well. You can go ahead and try and be that funnel piece. So it's going to come down to one last initial fight. It's going to come down to this.
Oh man, they better get on this point too, as we do see him catch good old Zeus. He's gonna deflect the best he can, but he goes down. Yerson James also going down. It's a one disadvantage on either side. There goes War Hater Sam, though. Okay, it's not looking so hot, but this is the overtime. This is the last fight of the match potentially. There goes the minefield. Oh, Slam in the wrong spot. Unfortunately, not gonna find too much value off of it. Hani going down, which is a critical player for them, but he's gonna find Monkey HW on the way down. Both DPS down for Mental Institution. There goes Moira, just trying to keep this Sumshigi out of the game. Ape Rage gonna try and deny the point. Great timing on this. Amazing usage as, oh my god, Sumshigi is still alive with a sliver? There's no way. But they're still in here. War Hater Sam doing what he can, and that's gonna be a flip for good old Electrogiant and friends finding their first round of the night.
I mean, that was
Holy.
brutal. That was rough to deal with. And yeah, Hani gets play of the game,
Certainly.
but Caboose gets kudos for the entire game. I mean, Hani did work. Let's be honest, Hani was a big reason why this game took so long and why a lot of these points turned. It feels like Mental Institution has a very strong opening. They have a lot of impact. It's almost like a gamble. They'll drop 2 ultimates, which are standard ultimates. You see the hamster minefield go out, and then the Genji with the blade. But the main thing is Caboose got so much freedom in that last fight. I want to point out one thing that Electro Giants and friends have been able to do consistently. They found your son James and Warhater Sam in both ending fights. And
Yeah.
even if you trade out a DPS, even if you trade out Zeus, being able to identify and catch the supports out means that you wipe the rest of the team. Caboose and Monkey HW never really touched at the end of the day. So really, really heads up from Electro Giant and friends on ensuring that they won those last few team fights.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep it together when it's down to the wire like that. But seeing players like Emil and Zeus just putting out so much DPS alongside their tanks and supports, and just it's awesome to see the team come together after losing a couple rounds and staying in this match tonight. Man.
Mm-hmm. Now going to the next ones, I'm very, very curious how this is gonna work because I'm sitting here going, I believe this is I want to say this is push, or I might be crazy. So I don't think
Oh
this is
yeah,
push.
it's definitely push. Definitely push.
It is push. Okay,
Yeah,
my
they've got the
brain was
map
like,
too.
I think it's push, right? And I was like, okay.
Yep, they made their selection too. They're going to good old Toronto back home, right? They taking it to the home court advantage for both sides here. The bans are also coming along too. Your son James is going to announce the bans for Winston and Torbjorn, both characters that were heavily utilized by Electrogiant in the last round there. And now they're just organizing Electrogiant's bans as well. But those are some big ones there. Torbjorn has been around all night for Zeus.
And it's had on and off success, I will say.
Yeah.
We saw game 1 have a lot of success in round number 2 of that. That's why we saw, I think, a huge swing back for Electrogiant and friends. And then they tried him in game 2, and it kind of felt moot. I just sat there and went, well, that's how you deal with the Torbjorn. Like, that's all you can really say about it. So having it banned away here on a push is going to be a little bit unfortunate, but you had to see that coming. Like, you had to sit there and say, that's fair. And also the Winston, Electrogiant losing their signature. We saw why,
Yeah.
because it works so well on side of that flashpoint.
Yeah, denying that final round point was awesome. And you're not going to see anything like that this time around. But yeah, they're certainly planning ahead, given that they know the map types ahead of time, I believe. So they knew when they wanted to take out this Torb, and this is when they were saving it for, given they did it 3-0, so they got to spend it eventually. And yeah, it's gonna be a shame not to see those guys, but there's lots of other options. Characters like Sojourn still in here. Moira, Caboose is gonna be on Moira, I'm sure, getting some value out of that one. And then Monkey's gonna be flexible, but Lucio is great for getting around this map, especially being who has forward spawns and getting into the action really often.
And I wonder if this. I will say this because I'm kind of curious. I wonder if this map is also going to go very. I want to say very snowball heavy. We saw how quickly things can snowball out of control, like in game number 2, where we saw the attacking side just get kind of run over, and the defensive side, when Mental Institution completely shut down.
Yeah.
The likes of Electrogiant and friends. This map itself, any push map, can get a little bit out of control very quickly. I mean, 3 good team fights, if you come up with a very nice start, you can pretty much push the checkpoint and then some in these types. So I'm actually going to be very interested to see if Mental Institution are going to be able to bounce back from what is the closest I've seen a Flashpoint map go versus Electrogiant and friends, who now have to continue to wade against the onslaught. Once again, they cannot lose at all. They have to win this map if they want to push for a map 5 and look to try the reverse sweep.
Yeah, reverse sweeping is so hard. And we actually have not taken the opportunity tonight to talk about the prize money. So there's something on the line this time around other than just having some fun. I believe tonight they had a pot. Let me just check the value here of 130 for first place split amongst the players. And then we're also going to see second place getting 40. So it's a big difference there of $90. And they're going to split that cost depending on what they get. But yeah, it's not chump change, but it's not nothing. So here we are.
Oh yeah, and it's awesome. Again, seeing people willing to invest into the scene, I think UOT is awesome for that. Again, putting on tournaments almost every single month has been really fun to watch for us. So I really like the fact that we're seeing more money go into these prize pools, go in for a lot of these teams to play in. I believe everyone, especially around the holiday season, it's nice to see. You get to play the little for fun tournament and get to have a little bit of a good time.
Yeah, we want to thank BMO tonight for helping out with that prize pool as well. Powered by BMO, of course, and it's great to see them supporting UFT. Yeah,
Yeah. It's a good time. It's a good time.
yeah.
So, I think the teams are wanting a little bit of a break, is what I'm
Oh
reading
yeah,
here. Yeah. I think we are. I think we're gonna cut to a break real quick. Give ourselves a little bit of time, also for the teams to get ready for map 4. So, yeah, we'll have a little bit of a break, right?
yeah. It's gonna be good to take a bit of ease off for a moment. It's a long time going through 5 rounds potentially, so we'll see.
All right. Let's go ahead, go to a break, and hopefully have a good time here. Again, coming up, it will be New King Street or Toronto. Have a lot of fun with that one and chill out with some push. I'm sure some teams will hopefully enjoy that one. But for me, it might also be the end of it because I mean mental institution, they can bounce back and
Yeah,
just crush it all the same. So for me, I'm gonna be sitting there going, I'm gonna be so interested to see who comes out with the victory. I mean, Melon, I think it's gonna be good.
yeah. It's gonna be a good time either way. These guys are awesome, and it's great to see so much energy in the match tonight. Hey, welcome back, everyone. We're back with the Overwatch Intramurals finals tonight. We've got Electrogiant and Friends and Mental Institution squaring off for the 4th round of their best of 5 match. And we're over to good old home turf, Toronto. I'm sure a lot of the viewers are familiar with this place. They may even live there, possibly. It's a good time. It's a good time, and we're on push. Push is it's a fun mode.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Hey, come on.
listen,
the robot.
Take it for what you will. I'm sure some people like it. I'm sure some people don't. I will say again, this is going to come down to those initial fights that we're going to see, which I think are going to hinge largely on 2 things, Hani and Sumshigi. And then on the other side, for Electrogiants and Friends, it's going to be Caboose. Caboose has done so well in some of these tight corridor situations. Granted, this is a much more open map, so it might be a little bit more difficult, but for me, that's what I'm watching for. Can Caboose stay alive? Can Caboose get the heals off? And will Mental Institution have a good opening salvo?
Yeah, these initial fights have always been really kind of bloodthirsty and blood-soaked, and you're gonna see how it goes this time around, finding some pokes as always, and Emil getting straight to work, gonna teleport out for safety. But yeah, it's up to these players to get that ultimate charge so you can get that going first. The bot is unlocking very shortly. We're gonna see how that works out for them. And of course, Sumshigi is out in the front here, getting hacked down, unfortunately, for Electrogiant from the Sombra. Early game Sombra, DJ Ashtray stable for sure. But there goes Monkey HW. Zeus getting dangerously low as well. First blood of the map.
And I like this call. You also get another hack on Electrogiant. And again, aiming straight for the back line has enabled this value. So this time, instead of aiming directly for Caboose, you take out the secondaries and Hani. On top of this, Tracer, really, really nice start. Taking out a couple members and forcing the likes of Electrogiant and Friends to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's tough when you lose that initial skirmish. You gotta do so much work to kind of reclaim that space that you lost. But Sumshigi is always right in the back line here, making so much value for them, supported by all his friends here. Monkey HW getting sniped out, unfortunately, on that initial push. Bit of a shame. And oh man, the duel between the Tracers here, blasting the little pistols at each other, getting some help there to confirm the kill on to Emil, unfortunately. Honey back in the mix. Your son James going down though, but for the value of Caboose and Zeus though. So that's a bit of a shame. Man, so much back and forth, but they're holding on to this at the moment over on the Mental Institution.
Oh yeah, and again, for the back and forth, it doesn't really matter.
Honestly,
the bot's going. Only when you see multiple going down that you're actually really worried. This fight is actually working out in their favor. You just put 2 members on top of that robot, and you go ahead and push. That's all you have to do. So really, really well done. The Electrogiant now forced out of the robot into this diva position, and you still win out. So for the likes of Emil and Zeus, I mean, we're seeing that swap out once again. Huge part as well is we're seeing a challenge as there it is again. Sumshigi once again on top of finding the healers in the back line.
That's a staple for him for sure, as he's getting back in here, bumping up some of the DPS, taking him out in the sky. And there is your son James making his way around here on Kariko. Get some big value. This character was banned earlier, but they're back on the map now. We didn't see them for a little while, but Warrior Sam also back on the Alari, which was a play of the game worthy character for them early tonight. So it's gonna be good to see them once again. So many angles with this big, what would you even call this weapon, man? Like this huge like blaster. Yeah.
This is the don't mess with me gun. That's all I'm gonna say. That is the don't mess with me gun, or you're not gonna like what happens after. But of course, right now we're getting into another fight where Electrogiant gets completely negated out. DJ sending them all to the shadow realm pretty much. And they got nothing in the pocket. Hani cleans up with that Tracer.
Man, as always, Tracer's making so much value for both sides on the map here. Hani and Emil showing up, gonna find some value, killing Zeus here. Sumshigi rolling around as always, supported by their 2 really valuable healers. Especially Kariko is just great with that auto aim kind of card gameplay, making sure they can get that value onto there, and they have so much freedom. DJ Ashtray is so committed to the Sombra's game. I thought it was initially just like a counter for Diva, but they're keeping to it. Electrogiant's gonna have to deal with it as they make their way in here, finding some kills. Big damage coming through. DJ Ashtray, Sumshigi getting really low right now. Blast coming out of the sky. Caboose unfortunately going down as well. Certainly a high level player, but that's gonna be a couple kills back and forth. And as always, as long as they can't get this team wipe, they can't truly flip it until I spoke too soon. The bot is gonna run back to the center of the map at the moment as more players are going down. Your son James going down as well. Hacked down into Zeus. Unfortunately, they're gonna be able to fly it and get out of this one. Venture taking it to the dirt. Unfortunately, not the way they want to. And there is Sumshigi making their way back around to the bot, trying to keep it in the favor of the good old institution. But Emil is so menacing with the railgun burst fire mode out here, rapid fire, what do you want to call it? And there they are, gonna kill that assault back onto the point. And man, so just a continuous fight. The skirmish is like years long in the making, and here we are, just kill after kill.
I mean, this is also brutal for the side of Electrogiant and friends. They haven't gotten a consistent battle down, which means this robot has to actually push for this side. Remember, when all these battles were going down on the other start, we were seeing the likes a mental institution get the push off as well. So finally we get to see that push. Finally we get to see that option come out. But this is another chase really well caught, coming out once again as Hani gets a reap and reward on a meal so clean.
That was a crazy duel in the favor of Hani, dude. Just jumping around and finding so much damage into him when you can't even see him. And then Emil is going to be joined by Caboose, unfortunately, next here. Hani going down themselves with the holding ultimate in the pocket for when they return, of course, when they need it. And Shigi just keeping it to that bot, make sure that they can continue pushing here as it does start to run back to their side, finally reclaiming that robot for them. But yeah, it's going to be up to Electrogiant and friends to reorganize here. I saw a couple swaps come around here, and Zeus is on the venture trying to find as much as they can, but we have ultimates in the pocket. This might be the time to make some plays, make sure it doesn't hit back to their wall.
I mean, this is what I was talking about, though. You always have to watch. Remember, this isn't about a kill game. This is about pushing that robot every single time, and that's the catch you want. DJ Ashtray opens up, but Zeus gets one right back and is on fire right now. This could be the chance that they want as they get it back to center stage.
Oh, he's just making their way there with the drill coming out of the ground, going down, unfortunately. And then it's going to be up to good old this whole squad here, keeping it on the point. Emil going down. Oh, it's so hard to just touch here. They are keeping it in the middle, getting closer to their own side, Electrogiant. But it's so tough when Hani is just jumping in and out, supported by DJ Ashtray. Both the DPS is so slippery this time around on Meditation.
And mental institution, I like the fact that they went for that type of skirmish heavy, and it allows Hani's been winning the duels in the back line. This is what we mentioned, getting that skirmish factor, finding ways to get Caboose or Monkey HW or Zeus or Emil, finding any of them really, and they have been able to take out one of the DPS. There's going to be another shutdown option if DJ Ashtray finds the right kill moments.
Yeah, the clock ticks down ever so slightly, little by little, and they're just so efficient at keeping it on their side. There goes Warhater James and Yurson James. It's gonna be a big kind of swap up for Electrogiant, finding both supports. Hani goes down as well. Man with the golden gun. Cole Cassie's gonna find his way into the battle here, and then it's gonna be up to them to find this point, and then it's finally running back to their side. Hopefully they can keep it this time though, because Shigi will always be there to answer, along with the supports who are back from the grave.
Yep, that was a very, very well-timed fight as well. Monkey HW on this Lucio has been a crucial part of why these battles work, but there's the minefield out again. No.
Yeah, minefield finds so much value, getting big damage onto Emil. It's just Caboose all going down. Electrogiant himself going down. It's gonna be up to Monkey HW, but you can't find too much value alone as it's a full team kill to grab the bot back for the side of Mental Institution.
And we talked about it before. Shigi and Hani are the two pretty much pushing this team forward. DJ Ashtray, Yurson James, and Warhater Sam have all had moments. However, Shigi and Hani have been the brutal factor, and they're going to try and do it again.
Yeah, as always, it's going to be Shigi starting off the fight, supported by his supports and DPS. Finding lots of value. There goes the anti-heal down onto him. Man, there's a lot of damage coming out to both sides. Feeling pretty even in this battle, but it goes towards the side of Electrogiant as Yurson James and Warhater Sam both go down. It's going to be up to the DPS and the tank to stay in the battle here. Giving a little bit, though, because they know they have lots of time left in terms of how far their push is at the moment. And there goes Shigi rushing in here. Just a great play, rolling around. He's gonna find the slam back onto the bot. The pathing is crazy here. He's got Google Maps open right now. He knows where to go. He lives in Toronto probably. Like, come on. He knows what's going on. But Hani is going down to low HP, but the supports are doing a great job of keeping him up in the battle here. We hear the bell go. Here comes the Deadeye, but the Deadeye has no dice as he gets slapped out just before he can blast it off there to find value. And a Yurson James going down as well. Emil out of the picture, but a lot of players on good old Mental Institution down at the moment, unfortunately. So it's going to be up to Electrogiant to keep this push, get this bot back on their side. This could be the flip they've been waiting for. Warhater James running away. Caboose is so menacing with this drain here. It doesn't even feel like a support sometimes, the amount of damage they're putting out.
Yeah, this is brutal right now, but we're down to the last minute, so this is going to be that last push option. And Hani once again finds Caboose. That's a huge pick. Shigi finds Electro. No. And Tsuchigi and Hani watch the last hope has got the team kill right back. And guess what? You only got about 25 meters total in the last 10 minutes. Mental Institution might have sealed this series away.
Man, it's a shame. Oh, we see a last-ditch effort to swap over to Sigma here. Gonna try and find some value with those 2 orbs of his. Gonna blast him off and see what he can do. Shield could be useful getting into the fight here, as we do see Hani goes down, so it's working out initially here. Getting hacked down, unfortunately. Emil and Zeus running in here, trying to find a lot of damage onto the team. Last ditch, as he said, 20 seconds on the clock. It is going down right now. They're getting pushed off right now. They're giving for a moment. They know that all they have to do is defeat them in overtime before they can push through another 60-ish meters.
This is gonna come down to that one final. Another hack on the back line though. The EMD. DJ Asher was trying to do some work, but honestly, the hacker doesn't know how long it's going to last. That's the beat jump that you're waiting for. Monkey HW might have just saved the entire team here, and they're gonna get another wash. What a chance to push back! Oh my God!
Oh, overtime it is, and they've got to stick to it the best they can. They have so much work to do, but it's getting ever closer. They might get to the checkpoint in a moment too. Soon Shigi's making his way in here, trying to find some value. DJ Ashtray and Hani in hot pursuit to try and help out, but Caboose is swapping over to Baptiste. Get some big DPS increase for himself there in the final. But here comes the ultimate from Caboose. They're getting those boosted shots. A bit of an odd angle, unfortunately, but I'm sure it's still going to find some value as they got that wall doing the big damage. They're still in overtime and they're still pushing. It's contested at the moment, so it's a bit tough to get through here. But this is the final stretch, the last stretch of the journey to stay in the final round of the tournament here. And there goes some more blasts off. Everyone's staying up at the moment, but the kills are about to come down. One contesting at the moment. You know it's got to be some Shigi. Here comes the hack. Here comes that gravity dance. Gonna find a lot of damage onto them. No one going down on the side, though. The immortality field keeping Electrogiant himself up, but there goes Caboose going down. Hani traded down. DJ Ashtray. This is what they want to see if they want to get this bot to the last stretch of the journey. And here they are, coming along. Big damage into it, rushing in. Lots of players going down. Electrogiant, unfortunately. That's the reverse wipe. That is gonna end the match. Oh my god. Mental Institution.
That was just pure chaos at the end.
Yeah.
From start to finish, it felt like it was Sumshigi. Sumshigi again.
Oh,
well
yeah.
deserved. I don't know which one it is. Honestly, I want to know which moment it was. It wasn't the OT, but this wipe here with this minefield was one of the key turnarounds, really. And we mentioned how it feels like this game is really focused on the initial pushes, and I think that's what it was. You take a look all the way back at the beginning of this game, and it was Mental Institution who won 4 or 5 team fights in a row, which gave them such an extended lead with the bot on push that as soon as it felt like there was a handle gained by the side of Electrogiants and friends, they just weren't able to push far enough. So one of those unfortunate situations where Electrogiants and friends, they played the entire late game right. I think the last few minutes they played it about as best they could. It's just it wasn't enough to overcome the gap that was earlier made.
Yeah, it's so hard to come back on that. Every single time they got kind of a flip, the bot would make it to halfway, and then by that point, Sumshigi and the rest of Mental Institution is making their way back over to kind of mess up their whole plan, right? Like, oh, but that final push, man, oh my gosh, it felt like 2 minutes long in overtime, right? Holy, at least a minute.
It was so much fun, and honestly, I loved every single moment of it. It was a well played combination of a battle, and I really hope to see even more. Honestly, I want to see all these teams continue to play in these tournaments, and hopefully they continue to have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, congratulations to Mental Institution coming out on top here, earning themselves some of that BMO prize money. And thank you once again to BMO for providing something for the players here who are working their asses off tonight. Like, come on.
Yeah, really big shout out to them. So hopefully everyone has a very good night as well. And I think we are going to be finished up here. So Melon, any final words? I mean, I had a blast here.
Oh yeah, as always. I think we do have to nominate an MVP for tonight. I said we can go for each team and then give an overall. So first thoughts for Electrogiant and friends. Does someone stand out there for you?
I have to say Caboose. Caboose felt like the reason game 3 went their way. Game 4, it felt like they were picked off a little bit too much, which again was mental institution really bringing things into the proper focus. But I think for Electro Giants and friends, it's a toss up between Electro Giant and Caboose, but I think Caboose takes the cake for me.
Oh yeah, I certainly agree with Caboose, and it's good to see all of them contributing. But Caboose, we always kind of got a good preview of what they were up to and the value, especially on that Flashpoint. Being so valuable in Flashpoint alone just gets them that kind of title. I want to nominate someone from Mental Institution, of course. I was a bit of a toss up between Shigi and Hani, but personally, I loved seeing Hani just like making so many heads up plays, getting out there, finding lots of damage, dueling people in the streets, which is always really good. And man, I love that. Like just seeing so much value from a DPS. Yeah,
Yeah, it was good. I
it's
would
close.
honestly say Hani, I think, is my MVP
Yeah,
for overall as well. Like Sumishigi had some moments. Sumishigi had amazing moments, but it was primarily when it was the wrecking ball. It was good overall. It was awesome to see, but Hani consistently across the Genji plus the Tracer at the end showed why they are one of the goats here. Like I will always I think Hani deserves MVP for this entire series.
yeah. Congratulations to Hani and everyone else on Mental Institution, splitting a bit of that prize money and really earning it. They worked hard tonight, and so many commanding victories on their side. And even though the game that they like, the match that they did lose, it was so down to the wire
Yep.
on Flashpoint, man. We do also have an interview coming along tonight, Orbles. So we will have a bit of setup for
Yeah.
that. So I guess we'll see who we're gonna get soon. I'm excited to see who it's gonna be. Hey, welcome back, Overwatch fans and UFT students. We are on to the interview segment of the night for the Overwatch Intramurals Finals. We're joined by Mental Institution's one and only Soom Shigi. How you doing tonight?
All
That's
right.
good to hear.
Yeah, of course, of course. And to dive right into it, we got a few questions. And first one is going into this. Map number one, you had your a little bit of a sad band there, I will say. You had the hamster band away from you straight up map one. Were you obviously anticipating that? And how did that change your gameplay? Because it felt like you guys still went into map one in a pretty good position going into that control.
Well, first of all, I didn't expect my Wrecking Ball to be banned because throughout the instrumental, my Wrecking Ball for the first round in Lijiang has never been banned. And I've been only playing Wrecking Ball for every Lijiang map, so it was kind of unexpected. But based on what enemy plays, like Hard Rush with Torb and Orisa, I just thought maybe you can just counter Torbjorn with Orisa and just win the frontline fight. And yeah, it wasn't a dive, but we did a pretty good frontline fight, so it wasn't that bad.
I mean, you all seemed very very competent moving in after that as well, and that I think showed to your own prowess. Coming into this tournament, of course, you guys made it into the grand finals, and map one went your way. Map two, very much so, and then you had one of the closest maps we've seen of Flashpoint, sitting all the way point 0.5, 99 to 99. How did it feel moving into map four? Knowing that you lost it by mere inches at the very end.
Well, our team already kind of expected to lose the map 3 because throughout the incidental we never get to win a flashpoint. So yeah, it's just we're not strong with the jungle queen comp, and also ball comp isn't great in flashpoint. So we kind of expected. So we just spend what we're going to play next, or try our best to get what we can. But so yeah, it was pretty easy for us to move on to the fourth map without any downs.
Yeah, you guys looked really comfortable in that fourth one, just always keeping the push going. I have a final and a bit maybe an unserious question. So you're now the proud owner of $26, in addition to what you already had. What are you gonna do with this $26? Or is the team gonna pool it or anything like that? Or
Ah, I don't know. Maybe we might go for team dinner or something.
oh yeah. Well, certainly lots of good places to eat in Toronto. And yeah, hey, thanks for coming on tonight. It's an impressive gameplay on Hammond as always.
Yeah, thank you for the interview.
Okay, and Orbital, before we finish off tonight, anything else to add here? I mean, we had a pretty explosive time and four good rounds, right?
Yeah, amazing rounds. Honestly, I will always say it's not the number of rounds that you have; it's how good the games are.
Oh yeah.
A boring 5-game series is not as much fun as an exciting 3-0 swipe, and it wasn't a 3-0. So again, all these teams did deserve to be here in the Overwatch 2 intramural grand finals. So I was very very impressed watching things here tonight.
Yeah, it was a good time. And I know that we may also have the third place match being played at some point, either today or tomorrow or something like that. But so we'll see how that all works out. And good luck to those players who are still kind of on the board. But these top two teams, it was an awesome time. And thanks for joining us. Grand finals, as we said. And thank you again to the teams and to BMO as well for helping out with the sponsor, and the prize money, of course, is too. All right. Have a good night.